I'm back with another one. Westworld. We've been waiting for this. We had to wait about 2 or 3 years every season. Season 4, episode 1. We are highly anticipated. One of my favorite shows. 7 years after the demise of Rehoboth, events are set in motion that reunite allies and enemies. You got that right. It sure was some reuniting going on. And it feels so good. You got that right. But where do we start, man? I guess we start at the beginning of this episode. I get reminded with this show is that, Westworld is the kind of show that you're just not going to get everything. Everything's not going to make sense, even if you watch all the way to the very end of the season. Everything's just not going to make sense. The show is designed like that, but we can try our best to try to keep up because the writers of this show are so far ahead of us. Like, they probably already know the ending of Westworld. They probably already got it mapped out. But we started out at the beginning of this episode where you got these I don't know if you call them cartel members or gang members or whatever, that they've taken over the Hoover Dam. And you got the man in black. He comes in and he wants to buy the Hoover Dam. Keep in mind, the man in black, we saw him get killed last season. That was like the last scene of season 3. Remember, the real man in black, not supposedly, he was. The real man in black was killed. The real man in black, he had an injury to his hand and he wore a black glove. That's the real man in black. He came to Delos in Dubai, to the headquarters of Delos. Hale was down there in the basement, and the robot version of Man in Black, he killed the real Man in Black. I do have a theory with Man in Black, though, possibly the real Man in Black. But anyway, we know that this is a robot Man in Black that comes to try to buy the dam because he didn't have a glove on. Watch him closely. He didn't have a glove on. So I'm thinking that Man in Black is being ran by Hale. I'm thinking Hale is running that Man in Black. That's what I'm thinking. He is being controlled by him. But he comes and he basically tells the cartel leader, look, you sell me this dam today or you give it to me tomorrow. That might be the most gangster line of the episode right there. That might be the most gangster line of the season. He say, Man in Black say, you sell me this dam today. You sell me this lump of concrete today. Or you give it to me tomorrow. If that ain't gangster, I don't know what is. But anyway, some kind of way this guy, the cartel leader, he go home and there flies, and we see them flies again all over his house. And I thought it was a dead body in there, but no, the flies look like that's something that we're going to be seeing throughout the season. We have seen them all throughout the series of Westworld. The flies is some kind of, it got something to do with the robots or something. It's something with them flies that it's like turn a program on with people. It like programs people to do things. It like takes control. It's like when people it takes control. Some kind of way people are being taken control of when them flies come in effect. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, the cartel guy comes in, and just like William says, the Man in Black, hey, he kills all the other cartel leaders, and Man in Black, he got the dam. Just like that. So yeah, we know that's not the real Man in Black, but keep in mind that's supposed to be a robot Man in Black. But keep in mind, the Man in Black, the real Man in Black, back in previous seasons, he was messing with the ability, he was doing research with the ability to take the human mind and put it into a host. That way you could live like forever by taking your mind and put it into a host. So the Man in Black was messing around with that. So who knows? Did the real Man in Black really get killed at the end of season 3? Or could this be could his brain have been salvaged and put into a host? We'll have to watch and find out. But moving on to Maeve. You know, Maeve, she out there in the country and doing her thing. She hiding out, I think, in Idaho somewhere in the middle of nowhere where they done tracked her down. And it come to find out, you know, Maeve, she's a smart robot, ain't she? Some robots were sent out there to kill Maeve. And who do we see? We saw the robot they used was from previous season in Westworld, the Confederate general. The Confederate colonel. I think he was a colonel used in the Westworld park. That's the guy who she chopped off his head and read his memory. And she looked in his memory and she could tell that the senator that William is behind it, the Man in Black, is the one that's sending them out there to kill her. And it looked like, if you look in those flashbacks real good and pause, the Man in Black was getting out of a car, and they say he's looking for some senator on the West Coast. We end up finding that out later, so that might be the picture of the senator in that flashback. And of course, you know, we got what's the guy name from Breaking Bad? What's his character name? Caleb. That's it, Caleb. So we got Caleb right here. Caleb is basically living his same old life. You know, the ironic thing is, when we saw Caleb in season 3, he had a robot with him. He was on top of them skyscrapers working the same job that he was basically a robot came up with his life, and that's the job that they had him in a loop, working on top of the skyscrapers, right? And ironically, we're 7 years after the robots have been destroyed and the revolution, or whatever you want to call it. And Caleb is still doing the same job, even though the robots were destroyed. He's doing the same job he was doing before in the same, well, is it a loop? I don't know. We have to find out. It might be still in a loop. Who knows? But anyway, they go on. Caleb, you know, his wife think he crazy because Caleb is paranoid. But come to find out, his little girl go outside, and a robot approaches little girl to try to get his little girl, and that is another robot from Westworld. That's an old robot from Westworld. You probably don't even remember. It was a creepy looking dude back in Westworld. He was a part of some gang. One of them posse gangs, and he was drinking the milk. You had to go back. You had to go back and look and see. But yeah, that robot that approached this little girl, Caleb's little girl, outside, is a robot from Westworld. Another one. But anyway, Maeve comes up like a ninja, and she kills the robot and saves Caleb's little girl. Maeve and Caleb, they back together now. They finna fight the revolution. They know William is what they know is William. The Man in Black, he's up to something, and they gotta go out and fight the world. So we're gonna see, you know, that's pretty much what's going on in this episode here. Dolores, well, not Dolores. She's called Christina now. Remember, Dolores was hooked up to Rehoboth last season, and the real Dolores is supposedly dead. Supposedly. I think I got a theory for that, and I need to hurry up and get the predictions. I got a theory in that. But Dolores is dead. This is Christina that we're watching now, who looks like Dolores, and we're watching her. She has supposedly a job at a computer gaming company making up stories, but with that man approaching her about and that man that committed suicide that approached Christina, she might just be, her real job might be her creating loops for people. She still might be creating loops for real human beings like they were doing before. Cause it's like Christina didn't understand why that man kept bothering her, but Christina might just be in a loop herself, and she don't know that she's creating stores for real people anymore. I mean, I'm just going. I'm trying to figure this out now, because if you look at the logo of the company that Christina works for, Christina, it's the company called Olympia. And you look at the logo of Olympia, the logo to the company Olympia is very similar to the logo of Delos. So the Delos, the company that owns Westworld and all that kind of stuff. So she might be in a loop herself and don't even realize, Christina. But we'll get more into that into predictions. So let's get on into predictions. So here's the thing. At the end of the day, Hell, you can see in the previews, Hell and the Man in Black. It looked like the Man in Black is working for Hell. Okay, which we know that's not the original. You know, that the original Hell, the woman that worked for Delos, she died back in Westworld, and that's why they wanted the dam in the first place, because the dam has the encrypted information that was taken at Westworld of all the in Westworld. When you visit Westworld, the human beings would visit there and they put the hats on. And when they put the hat on, the hat would scan their brains and get all their DNA and their information, their data. And that's how they could make fake robots of the people, because they had all the data. So, the real Hell, she snuck away she got all that encrypted information and took it out of Westworld. Well, we know that Dolores, she killed Hell. Hell died at Westworld, but she made a fake version of Hell and got that data and snuck out of Westworld as Hell. So, but anyway, that data that was snuck out of Westworld is in the Hoover Dam. That's in the Hoover Dam. That is why that is why the Man in Black was sent there to take over the Hoover Dam, because the information that data is at the Hoover Dam, but it's encrypted. It can't never be accessed because the real Hell is dead. Try to follow me, people. But anyway, we're gonna find out, because the hat you put on at Westworld will scan the data of all the humans. We'll see. Because I'm thinking, is the Man in Black, is that a copy of the real Man in Black? Or did they take the brain out the Man in Black and put him in a host? Probably not. That's probably just a copy of the Man in Black. The reason I say this is because when he came to the Hoover Dam, the Man in Black said, I haven't been here since I was a little boy. So maybe the host just knew that wasn't the real Man in Black. I think maybe the host just knew that because they have all the Man in Black's data from when he put the hat on when he would visit the park. So when they have your data, I think they take your memories and all that too. So maybe that explains that. We gonna find out. And we gonna see where this thing goes with Hell. And I'm gonna tell you something that I think, since we're in predictions. One more theory. This Christina character that looks like Dolores, is the real original Dolores, is she really dead? Remember, her brain was hooked into Rehoboth at the end of season 3. Could Dolores, the real Dolores, still be like within Rehoboth? And is she still running everything? Is she still controlling a lot of stuff? is she putting this Christina character who looks like her, is she putting her in a loop where she thinks that she's working for the video game company creating these stories when really she's creating stories for Delos, because the computer game company, the logo looks just like the logo for Delos. She's really creating stories and loops for real people. That's what I think is probably going on, because that man approached her talking about, you killed me, you made me do this. Am I doing this? Am I committing this suicide on my own, or did you write this for me? And Christina don't understand, because Christina is just in a loop creating stories, but really those stories are being taken and put into people's real lives again. People are still being put in the loops. We'll see. Like I say, this is welcome to Westworld. We just watch it and we try to figure it out the best we can. Somebody get in the comments and help me out. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Somebody help me out. But we finna find out though. Now here's another character though. We gotta find out what's going on with my man here, Bernard. What's up with Bernard, man? We gotta check on Bernard, man. Like, somebody check on him, man. Cause the last time we saw Bernard was at the end of season 3. He was humped down. He was deprogrammed. I guess he was cut off. I guess he went into rest mode, and he was sitting in a cheap motel at the end of the bed. And remember, we saw that scene where years, it looked like decades had passed by, and all that dust was on him, and then he cut on after the dust. He cut on, and all that dust was on him. He looked like he had been sitting there for decades. So maybe Bernard, that's more than 7 years in passed with all that dust on him, probably. So maybe some kind of way we're going to see Bernard in the future, a couple of decades ahead or whatever. We're going to see. We got to see where Bernard plays into all this. Don't forget about my boy Bernard. If you're still watching this, I appreciate you. You're a real one. Do me a favor. Hit the like and subscribe button. Share this with somebody. Comment. Help me out. Westworld, we try to figure it out, man. But it's just, it's deep. It gets deep, man. Westworld gets deep, man. So we try to figure it out the best we can. Until next time.